what's going on with Julian Lewis? Now, Julian Lewis is a 5-star quarterback that is currently committed to USC. But the buzz right now, or the buzz, I guess, coming out of the weekend, is Colorado shot their shot. So we'll talk about that right now, but first things first, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. All right, you're a college football sicko. Good news, that's us too. Like, we're watching the full game, YouTube reruns at lunch instead of, whatever the sport is on. Like, we're college football diehards, recruiting, portal, games, all that. Welcome home. Subscribe so you don't miss anything. Also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JD Piquel. So, to get a ton of intel, also make sure you're subscribed to the On3 Recruits channel. Wilt Fong Whip Round's got intel on this. The Inside Scoop, chopping it up on this with Josh Newberg. The 5-star flex with Phillip Dukes got a great video out on this that we're actually going to bring Dukes on, I believe, on Thursday's show to chop it up with him and kind of unpack what he had to say about Julian Lewis. This morning, and on the Wilt Fong Whip Around, Steve Wiltfong has said he is leaning more towards Julian Lewis sticking with USC than flipping to another school. Insert Colorado, Auburn, whoever you want there. He's committed to USC. And to be honest, this makes a lot of sense if you commit to USC as a quarterback. I don't think there's a whole lot of explaining that has to be done for yourself. Hey, I'm a quarterback. I want to go play in the NFL. I want to give myself a chance to win the Heisman Trophy and be a first-round draft pick. Lincoln Riley's your guy. The proof is in the pudding, man. When men lie, women lie. Resumes don't typically lie unless you're a college grad and trying to get a job, in which case, we salute y'all. But, that's pretty much the case. If you want to commit to the guy who specializes in quarterbacks, you commit to Lincoln Riley. And in other cases, I suppose you commit to Steve Sarkisian. But Juju Lewis being committed to Lincoln Riley, you're in great shape. There's no denying any sense that would make. I also need to say this, too, for the USC faithful watching. Nobody is trying to flip your guy here on this show, okay? I am not hoping that Julian Lewis flips to X, Y, and Z school. That's not the business I'm in, quite frankly. The reason why we're talking about this is Julian Lewis is going through the recruiting process, taking visits. And so we're going to talk about the visits he takes. Okay, obviously you take visits. Take visits to check out a school, check out how you fit there, and potentially picture yourself playing at that school. You take the photos and the jerseys because, one, it's just a sick experience if you're a high school senior. You're taking pictures in the Auburn jersey and the Colorado jersey. It's cool. But also, if you're on staff there, part of that is you want to allow this kid to see himself in that jersey and say, maybe I could see myself running out of the tunnel out here in Boulder. Maybe I could see myself running out there, Jordan-Hare Stadium, being the quarterback. Just food for thought. So that's why we're talking about this. Now, the Colorado visit sounds like they shot their shot, man. Everything that I am reading, everything that I've heard is that Colorado put their best foot forward on this visit. And one thing that continues to come up when you talk about the Colorado visit for Julian Lewis, the city of Boulder, man, showed out. People talk a lot about that Colorado fan base and them being a little bit more, there's some new members of that Colorado fan base. And, nothing against it. Deion Sanders is your head coach. That's going to drive intrigue through the roof. More power to you. But within the city of Boulder, they made it very evident they want this dude to be their quarterback. Have to believe it didn't hurt things. Also, the fact that they had the Julian Lewis, I think it's the Precision Pass Burger. Any restaurant that says, we got a big-time commit coming to town, going to do our part, put a item on the menu for this 5-star quarterback to prove to him just how much this city is behind him, how much we want him, I think that's phenomenal. I'm all about that. That is program stuff right there, through and through. T.C. Lewis is Julian Lewis's father. He talked to Phillip Dukes. Phillip Dukes asked him, hey, in one word, describe the Colorado visit. And he said, real. Again, Steve Wiltfong is saying he's going to stick with USC. As of right now, that's his lean. Not his prediction, his lean right now, I suppose. I'm just saying, Colorado did some good things, it sounds like, on this visit. Now, here's my question. I wonder if this is the recruit where Deion Sanders says, you know what? I don't really do in-home visits, but this is the kind of guy that could change a class, change the future of a program once Shedeur Sanders leaves. I'll go visit him in Carrollton, Georgia. I'll go visit him at his high school. I'll go sit down with the family and break bread if that's what it takes to get this done. That could be the ace in the hole, I think, for Deion Sanders. Curious to watch that whole thing unfold. Now, Auburn, they're also in the mix. They already had a visit with Julian Lewis. The pitch for them is obvious, right? Like, I mean, they're close to home. Personally, schematically, I really like that fit. Seeing Julian Lewis in Hugh Freeze's system, I think, would be just, chef's kiss. They're well-resourced when it comes to NIL. Auburn makes a lot of sense. Auburn makes a ton of sense, so you can see that there. Now, here's where I think this gets really, really interesting. All three of these schools that I'm assuming are the key factors for him in his recruitment. USC, obviously, he's committed to. Colorado just took a visit to. And Auburn. The school's getting the most buzz around his recruitment. They all have some degree of uncertainty next to them when it comes to that 2024 season. Like the over-under win total for Auburn and USC is both at 7.5. Colorado, their over-under win total is at 5.5. There's a lot that could happen this upcoming season. And so Julian Lewis has said with our own Josh Newberg during the On3 Elite Series, he has told us, hey, I want to shut this down, my recruitment that is, before the season. So I can focus on what I need to focus on, go have the best year I can possible for my high school team. Awesome. My question is, though, with that amount of uncertainty around these different teams and what they could accomplish in 2024, how much does the 2024 season impact where Julian Lewis stands on his commitment to go play college football? Just my question, because what if USC, he's committed there right now, what if they walk into the Big Ten and it's not a good look? And again, I'm not predicting that. I'm just asking the question. What if USC walks out there, goes 7-5 again? And it looks like we got a long way to go on the line of scrimmage. It looks like maybe this is going to be a little bit of a tougher project than we had originally thought if we're USC. What if Shedeur Sanders goes out and wins the Heisman Trophy? What if Colorado goes out there and wins the Big 12? What if Auburn wins 9 football games? What if Peyton Thorne and his development under Hugh Freeze is night and day from what it was last year and that offense is humming? How much does that factor in to your commitment? I understand we want to shut it down before the season. I'm for that. I am pro focus on your senior season. But I think it's human nature with the uncertainty around these teams can make for an interesting 2024. Now, it also needs to be noted, what if Miller Moss goes out there and wins the Heisman Trophy? What if USC lights it up in the Big Ten? That's also a potential variable in place. So for my good folks out there in Los Angeles screaming at your podcast or screaming at your YouTube TV, that's also in play. I think that also probably helps solidify Julian Lewis's commitment, in my opinion. It's not intel, just talking this through here. So what happens there, we'll see. Again, Julian Lewis is committed to USC. Committed to USC. Steve Wiltfong says he leans stick more than flip. But the beautiful part about recruiting, man, we are going to get to see where pen meets paper on National Signing Day. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.